I'm about to lose it over our neighbor's adult son who keeps stealing our stuff. Our neighbors have a son named Brian who's in his 20s and has autism. He lives with them and goes out with a worker every day. He seems pretty friendly when we see him, always waves and says hello. But ever since we moved into this house 8 months ago, he's been coming into our yard and taking our things. At first it was just small stuff. We'd notice a rake missing or a shovel moved to a different spot. We thought maybe we were just forgetting where we put things. Then one morning I went outside and both our snow shovels were completely gone, just vanished. My husband Mark checked the garage, the shed, everywhere. Nothing. Later that day I saw Brian in his backyard holding one of our shovels. It had this distinctive red handle that we'd spray painted last winter. I went over and knocked on their door and talked to his mom, Linda. She was super apologetic and got the shovels back for us. She explained that Brian sometimes takes things and that they were working on it with him. I said, okay, no big deal. These things happen. Except it kept happening. We'd have tree branches fall in a storm and pile them in the front yard for trash pickup. The next day, they'd all be moved to our backyard in a neat pile. We had this big branch break off during high winds and Mark spent like 2 hours cutting it up into pieces in the front driveway. He was going to haul it away that weekend. Friday morning, I look outside and every single piece is now in our backyard. I'm talking dozens of chunks of wood, all relocated. Mark was furious. We went over and talked to Linda and her husband Tom again. They said they'd talk to Brian about respecting boundaries. They even put up this big sign on their gate that said, please stay in your own yard. We thought maybe that would help. Then Brian started taking our bottle bags. We save bottles and cans for the deposit money. Every 2 weeks, we'd have these bags sitting by the garage waiting to take them in. Brian would come over and just grab them. The first time it happened, we lost like $40 worth of bottles. Mark caught him in the act the second time and asked him to put them back. Brian literally ran away with the bag and went inside his house. We had to go knock on the door again. Linda gave us $20 and said she was so sorry. She said they were going to try putting up a sign in our yard too. So now we have this laminated sign stuck in our garden that says, please do not take items from this yard. It's embarrassing. Our other neighbors probably think we're insane, but Brian completely ignores it. He still comes over and moves stuff around. Last month, we bought new garden rakes and left them on our porch for the weekend. Monday morning, they're gone. I look through the fence and I can see them leaning against Brian's shed. At this point, I'm ready to just call the cops, but Mark says we can't do that because Brian has autism and it'll cause a huge problem. Then, last week, something happened that really freaked me out. We have this dog named Cooper who's old and lazy and sleeps outside on nice days. I was inside making lunch when I heard our front door open. I thought Mark came home early from work, but when I walked into the living room, the door was wide open and Cooper was inside just standing there. I checked the security camera footage and Brian had opened our door and let Cooper in. Our door wasn't locked because we were home. He just walked right up and opened it. When I asked Linda about it, she said Brian doesn't like when dogs are outside alone because he thinks they'll get lost. She said he was trying to help, but he opened our door without permission while we were home. That's terrifying. Now every time I see Brian walking around, I watch him. He'll look at our yard and then do this quick little run, grab, run thing when he takes stuff. He knows he's not supposed to be doing it because he literally runs away after. We've talked to his parents 4 times now. We have 2 signs up. Nothing works. Last night, our new garden hose disappeared and I saw it coiled up in Brian's yard this morning.